right, guys, Davis Tyler, aka Nanogenix, and today the 5-year anniversary for the global side of the game is upon us. We're gonna be doing summons, we're gonna be doing gameplay, we're gonna do all kinds of fun stuff. Of course, you guys know right here on the channel. But today, man, the question everyone is asking me is who should I summon for, or who should I summon for first? And if your question is should I summon, I mean, if you're playing this game, real talk, you might as well summon on the anniversary. It doesn't get too much better. Now, we don't know this 100% as of me filming this. I don't harp on this too much, but presumably there will be tickets. Now, they've not been data downloaded yet, so I can't say that for 100% certainty, but looking at the past, for I think the 3 anniversary and the 4 anniversary, we had tickets, and we even had some form of tickets for LR Gohan back on the 2 anniversary, but regardless, there should be tickets. And of course, there's going to be buy 3 get 1 free, so every 150 stones is actually 4 multis, and then assuming there are tickets, it's even more than that because you'll be able to do more multi summons as you get your tickets. So in terms of just value for your stones, if you've been saving this whole time and you're trying to decide, do I save for like the 350 million download celebration or use them now, my personal opinion is you use them now because you're probably going to want them anyway as we go into 350 million. And if you don't have them, you know, I don't know. I personally would just use them. Now, if you're wondering when they release, the data mine to date was on the 9th. And of course, I'm recording this on the 6th. And tonight, whenever after this goes live, or maybe by the time we're watching this, if the reset has happened on the 6th here, we probably have seen everything that's happening. They'll, you know, in the news, they'll show everything that's going to be going on for the anniversary. Now, in terms of the actual JP side, they actually launched the next day after that happened in the news. So we got everything, everything revealed. The first stuff of the anniversary launched on the 29th of January, and the actual banners for the Gogeta and the Vegito went live on the 30th. So it is possible that that date could be wrong. I doubt it is. So they could be live as soon as tomorrow on the 7th, but the actual data mine date was on the 9th. So stay tuned. We'll see. You guys know, as always, I'll be doing summons. Speaking of which, if you guys want to be here for the summons, you guys enjoy this content, enjoy our discussion today, you might hit that like button, and as always, go down there, hit that subscribe button. I just looked earlier, we're super close to making that sort of ticker go up when we're not, so consider subscribing. Let's see if we make that go up. Hit that sub button, you'll know what's up. So today what I want to talk about is actually I don't want to go too deep into the actual like 5 anniversary stuff. I actually made a video not too long ago going, you know, super into this. Let's just hit some high notes really fast. The thing to really note here that we had to go through on JP was when are they going to release all the tickets. We actually didn't get the final tickets to do the free 55 multi-summon guaranteed LR, by the way. So if you're someone that's just clicking on this, trying to decide whether you're going to hop back in, there's tons of free stones to get, tons of free tickets. And towards the end of the anniversary, if you do all the missions from now until then, you'll be able to do a free 55-person multi-summon based off of tickets alone. However, you can't get the final tickets until part 3 of the anniversary. And if they keep it the exact same way, that won't be happening until the end of the month, or maybe even close to the beginning of August. So I did just want to note that as well, because I know a lot of people will probably be wondering about that, and I don't want it to turn into another JP situation where we kept wondering when are they going to drop the final ticket so I can do this guaranteed LR 55-person multi-summon. So anywho, just to go ahead and note that. And that's really the high ground stuff on it. Now, in the actual news itself, it does mention the chain battle event that is coming soon. I don't think it'll be in part 1, but we have to wait. We'll have to see. Chain battle may launch today. Who knows? I don't think so, but I guess it's a possibility. And of course, the Wheezy event is live, and you can start getting equipment for your units on the global side, which is really, really cool. And that's really about it. Yeah, there's a themed battlefield to do, but that's kind of the high points. Of course, the main thing I do want to focus on is the Dual Dokkan Fest itself. So let's take a look at the banner. This is what they look like. Here's Vegito's. I think there's a clear winner in terms of value per stone, and unfortunately, it's the banner that I wouldn't suggest the fusion for, in my own opinion, which is this banner right here. So before we dive down and actually look at the actual units, this is what the 2 banners look like. As you can see, a very huge difference is that Gogeta includes LR Perfect Cell and Vegito includes LR Gohan. No denying the fact that when it comes down to pure raw value, Gohan fits on so many more teams, links up better on so many more teams, and is just overall the better unit. Now, some people might argue that, sure, go for it, but I'm not really listening because in my personal opinion, that Cell is fine. He's a good unit. He's not a good unit as the same as Gohan. So anyways, let's take a look at the actual banner. So this is what you're looking at here. Now, the other thing too that I think provides more value is overall, I do think Zamasu and Trunks do provide a little more value than Broly and Gogeta. And the reason for that is because Trunks and Zamasu, of course, boost their own typings, ROG for Zamasu and Future for Trunks. But Trunks and Zamasu also boost Super and Extreme. So in terms of building out a team, your options are basically endless if you pull one of them if you don't have them. Whereas when you're looking at someone like Gogeta and Broly, they're specific to, you know, for Broly, full power and movie bosses, and then for Gogeta, movie heroes and fusion. So you're a little bit more limited in terms of that as well. But then looking beyond that, of course, you know, SSJ for Gogeta being back, he's better than a lot of people like to give him credit for. Of course, the Fizz Gogeta is still fantastic, you know, still to this day, being 2 years old at this point. Intelligence Gogeta probably going to get an EZA very, very soon. STR Mega, of course, already has his EZA, really, really good. And Janemba still being one of the best Extreme Z Awakens in the game, unquestionably. And then when you come back to the forefront of it, you have the brand new units. You have a Bardock and Gine on Gogeta's banner and a Trunks and Mai on Vegito's banner. Now I'm taking a look at these just really fast because again, I want to harp on them too much, but here's the Bardock and Gine. They boost movie heroes, category T +3, HP DAC and even plus 120%. And the Trunks and Mai boost joined forces. They are really, really good for SPR. They are like really, really good for SPR because the primary thing to look at with them is the fact that they're active in SPR, which will get reset every single time that you hop out of a fight and go back into a new one. After 3 turns, you are able to raise attack by 628% temporarily, perform a critical hit, and a guaranteed stun. That is so clutch in SPR. Now, if we take a quick look over at the Bardock and Gine, they also aren't bad by any means. Removes all ally status effects and all allies attack plus 22% for 2 turns. However, with Trunks and Mai, as long as you have a Trunks or a Mai basically, and you've been 3 turns, you can do theirs. This one, you have to be 4 turns or on, and you have to be below 80% or less HP. So it is a little bit more restrictive. It is still really good. But I think overall, after using these for some time now, I do think I find myself using, in more clutch moments, the Trunks and Mai. So I think that adds a little more value as well. And so I think overall, if you're looking to maximize stone efficiency, what a weird way to say that, this is the banner to go for sure. But if you're like me, you like Gogeta better, you personally think Gogeta might be better by just a little bit, then this banner is not bad by any means. Neither one of these banners are bad by any means, but if you just are looking for the answer of which one does Nano think has more value, then I truly think it's this one, and I think it's almost not even a question about it at all. Plus, you know, again, you do still get the old Vegito as well, the intelligence one from the year 3 anniversary, and of course now that he has his EZA, if you don't have him, he's here as well, right? And like, he's crazy, bro. We didn't have him for the 5th anniversary on JP EZA yet. We didn't know how good he was going to be, if I remember right. And so, like, he's on the banner, and of course the Merge Zamasu EZA is good as well. So the value here is just really, really good. Again, I'm not taking away from Omega's and Janemba's EZA either, but I don't think those compare to Vegito Blue's EZA. I mean, it's insane. So this banner is great, man. This banner is really, really good. They're both great, but I think this one is the better one. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the actual units themselves. Now, both of them, I think, when they're in their blue state, are undeniably the best units in the game. I think when you look before that, there are some contender. Obviously, you know, everyone's still talking about LR UI, and of course, since the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken and the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta and Goku are brand new, everyone's still talking about them too. And I think both those are great. I think both those are great out of the gates. And not to downplay Gogeta or Vegito in their base states, but of course they aren't as good as the LR UI or the LR Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. Sorry, LR Blue Bros. I don't want to say that every single time. However, you can't deny that these do have great transformations and do transform into Super Saiyan Blue states, and are, I do think, I don't know, I actually haven't listened to what other Dokkan YouTubers think or really haven't went to the Reddit, but my personal opinion is that these are the 2 best units in the game still. And they're going to be really difficult to beat just because they're both insane powerhouses. So just the quick notes of this before I dive into it a little bit deeper. Again, I'm going to say hit that like button if you still haven't yet, and subscribe if you still haven't. But just sort of quick notes on this before I dive into it super deep. The thing to know about Gogeta is that his sort of one up over Vegito is that he is effective against all types if you put him into that 1 or 2 slot. So that is super, super clutch in a lot of moments throughout the game, and that's why he ends up being the more attack-oriented character. But the key thing to know about this Vegito is that he is a guaranteed additional super attack unit. So no matter what, he's launching an additional super attack. And the reason why that is so key to this unit is that even in his 18 and his 12 key, he raises defense. So his 12 to 17 is raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes class damage to enemy. And his 18 key is raises defense for 1 turn and causes melee class damage to enemy. So you're going to actually boost your defense twice, guaranteed, with this Vegito. And so that makes him a little bit more defensive oriented. So that is sort of the two main differences between these units. So do you care more about all out pure attack with the Gogeta being effective against all types and getting up to create? I mean, mine has 2 dupes and mine gets up towards the end of fights to like 6 million plus with 2 dupes and some equipments. So do you want to have a unit that's getting up to 6 million attack stat that's also effective against all types? Or do you want a unit that is going to be able to raise his defense quite a lot and launch multiple super attacks, but those may not do as much because he's not effective against all types, but his super attack is still, his attack stat is still going to be getting up to like 4 or 5 million. And in some cases, I have 2 dupes on him as well, pretty close to 6 million as well. And he's guaranteed to do, and also 12 to 18. So that's sort of the takeaways here. Now, talking about the unit a little bit more in depth, they do introduce a new category called Last Resort. It is a ton of fun. My personal thing, if you guys have it, my personal favorite thing to do on this team, of course, I run a Gogeta and a Vegito unit. Another cool side note for this, the reason why they're very fun is that they are interchangeable, right? So you can run double Vegito or double Gogeta and still get to have a Last Resort team, which I think is really, really cool. But the thing I like to do with this unit is run a full power Frieza and then run a transforming STR cooler. Yes, it is a super fun rotation. It definitely works. I have videos of it here on the channel for sure. I'll try to remember to link one at the end of this here in a second when I end this video. But that's a ton of fun. And then, of course, the other rotation would be Vegito and Gogeta. So if you have a super stacked account available to you, I highly recommend, if you pull Gogeta and Vegito, to try out this thing that I'm mentioning here. And I guarantee you're going to have a ton of fun with it. Of course, LR freaking Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku is a ton of fun as well on this. Really, there's so many options with this Last Resort team that I truly enjoy to run, that it is still probably my favorite category to run to this day, 5 months later after the anniversary itself. So taking a look back at these units really fast for you in this, because this is, I mean, that's I really got everything I want to say there. In terms of value for the banners, I think Vegito's value is much higher. But in terms of the actual units themselves, I personally like Gogeta better. I like the effect against all types. And as you'll notice once we get into this, their kits are very similar. It's just, I feel like one takes off a little faster than the other, and we'll see that right now. Also, to another side note, the Vegito boosts Batara, whereas the Gogeta boosts fusions. And especially now that we have Kefla, if you're thinking into the future, Batara is probably better. Batara is probably the better side as well. So if you care about that sort of thing of it as well, the leader ability with the Vegito might be a smidge better. So Vegito, of course, does Last Resort or Batara. He raises his attack on both of his 12 to 17 and 18 key. His passive is attack and defense plus 70%. He gets key plus 3 when attacking and launches an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack. High chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attacks, as the third attacker in a turn. Both Vegito and Gogeta transform after 4 turns, which in my personal opinion is fantastic. So if we take a look at his transform state, he now raises attack and defense, which I already mentioned before, on his 12 to 17. And on his 18 key, he raises his defense as well. Passive then becomes attack and defense plus 77% at the start of turn, key plus 2, but he guarantees to launch himself an additional super attack, plus additional key plus 1, attack and defense plus 7% with each attack performed. So he can get all the way up to basically key plus 7, because that maxes out at key plus 5, and attack and defense up to 77%. So once you have this maxed out, he's going to be giving himself key plus 7 from his passive alone. As the first or second attacker in a turn. Now, if you put him in that third spot, he launches an additional super attack and a high chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attacks. Now, the active on this guy is pretty crazy. So once you transform, basically the fastest you could use this active would be after six turns. So once he transforms, the next time he comes back, if the enemy has 50% or less HP, you can then activate your active ability, which is his final Kamehameha, greatly raises his attack temporarily and causes ultimate damage to the enemy. He also picks up Super Saiyan and Kamehameha. He lost, I think it's Brainiacs is one of them. Yeah, so not a bad thing to lose, because Brainiacs, you're not going to have too much with a team like this. Now looking at Gogeta, he is a little bit different. He goes ahead and starts giving himself ki, a little bit more ki immediately, and then same thing when he gets into Super Saiyan Blue as well. So same thing with him, 12 to 17 and his 18 ki both raise attack, and then do typical LR super attack damage. Then attack and defense plus 70%, ki plus 3 when attacking, and launches an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack, high chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attacks, as the third attacker in a turn, and transforming conditions are met. Again, transforms after 4 turns. Once he is transformed, he gives himself ki plus 5. So very different in terms of how Vegito works. This guy just immediately gives himself ki plus 5. So if you get 13 ki, you're guaranteed to get an 18 ki with this Gogeta Blue. So attack and defense plus 77% at start of turn, ki plus 5, and launches an additional attack plus an additional attack defense plus 7% with each attack performed. So he does still do that as well. That caps itself out at 77%. And attacks effective against all types as the first or second attacker in a turn. Then if you put him in that third spot, he launches an additional super attack and a high chance of evading enemies' attack. So his sort of active ability is the ultimate Kamehameha. Greatly raises his attack temporarily and causes ultimate damage to the enemy. Same thing. It has to be after you've came back, after you've transformed. So the quickest you could do this is 6 turns. And the enemy needs to be 50% or less HP. I actually find myself getting both of these actives off quite frequently. So I think both these units were designed really, really well. 4 turns for how crazy they are is not bad. They build themselves up, and then once they get going and they get this boosted up, bro, I'm not kidding. These units put up just absolutely insane numbers. So in terms of just pulling for just specifically either of these units, it really comes down to just a personal preference, which is your favorite fusion. And then in terms of if you're looking for who has the better value, as I've already mentioned, Vegito's banner I think is infinitely more valuable in terms of stones being spent. It just is. So anyways, that's really everything I want to talk about here. I don't expect there to be much difference whenever this launches and here in just a few hours from the time this launches on this video goes live on my channel. I don't think it'll be too much different in all of this. And we are getting the Zamasu, which can be Extreme Z Awakened. It can't go quite to an LR just yet. That won't launch until like part 2 of the celebration. But anyways, that's everything to talk about right now. We'll probably talk about more in the future, but hopefully that helps some of you decide where you want to spend your stones. And if it didn't, well, my apologies. But as always, hit the like button if you guys enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing if you're new. If you couldn't tell, I'm a little stopped up right now because I don't really know what's happening. So anyways, guys, have a great day. Keep on keeping on. Best of luck on your summons if I don't see you before then. That has been today's video, though. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.